Alright, fellow Kaijudo duelists, this is Chris here from Team Squeeky here at Kaijudo Central. This is part 2 of the preview exclusive card for Team Squeeky, and I'm sure everybody's asking or thinking to themselves, how's this part 2, considering this is only the first time that they've come out with their own preview card for Clash. Well, before I start showing the preview card, I kind of want to go to the backstory of this. It's kind of interesting. So, earlier I announced, oh hey, we got a preview card, right? I'm going to announce it by this time. Andrea Wizards sends me over this preview card and says, hey, can you spoil this for us, right? So here I am, doing up this video, got everything done for it and that, and I start finishing up the final editing piece to it, adding the Team Squeeky intro to it. Then I get an email from Andrea going, please don't spoil that card. It was the wrong card to give you. It's going to appear either on here or there. I don't want to sit there and say where, but I need you to spoil this one instead. Luckily, she caught me because I was just about to upload it onto YouTube, and I kind of wrote her back real quick and I'm glad you sent that. It was perfect timing because this thing was about to take and go up. So, part 2, I'm not going to spoil out that card. It will be a card I think everybody is going to like. It's bringing back something from DM days. That's all I'm going to sit there and say. I'm not an old DM player, but I have heard of that card and the good and bad with that card, so I think everybody's going to sit there and be happy with it once Wizards decides to show it. But yeah, so I don't get to preview that one, but we're going to preview a different one now, and this particular card has a lot of value to it. I think this card could very well sit there and see a lot of competitive play with it based upon the decks and how they're going to take and use it and maybe how the meta shapes up down the road. So let's go ahead and begin to talk about this. Right? So this is a remake of an old card from DM, right? As a matter of fact, this Dark Lord's Fortress got previewed on the Facebook page earlier this week. This creature is Gregoria, the Malevolent. Alright? Yeah, I'm not completely telling you everything about it just yet, but it is a reprint. Right? Definitely a different card from its previous, so let's first show off the previous card for maybe those who didn't get to play Duel Masters back in the day. It's a reprint of Gregoria, Princess of War, and you can see it right here. Just kind of want to show everybody so they can kind of get caught up on their history, because I know me myself, I kind of had to go back and go take a look at things. Alright, so that was Gregoria, Princess of War. 6-drop, 5,000 power. It gave each demon command in the battle zone plus 2,000 power and blocker. This one's a little bit different, and I think actually an improvement over the previous one. So, Gregoria the Malevolent. And I'm going to post this card out on Twitter, so you guys will actually get a full view of it there. So those of you following me on Twitter, you'll get to sit there and see it there, and I'm sure this will end up on Wikia shortly after I have it on Twitter and after the video comes out. So, alright, Gregoria the Malevolent, Dark Lord, 6-drop. Has an ability called Subvert. When this creature enters the battle zone, each player reveals his or her hand and discards all spells. 4,000 power creature. I like the ability, personally. It allows me to take and set up some different things, right? So, we know we have these control decks now that are out there. Obviously, the biggest one right now being the Andromeda builds. Okay? Well, you start taking away, if you can ramp up to it, like this fits my Water Darkness Nature build, right? If I can ramp up to it quick enough to get to Gregoria to where, you know, maybe I have one spell I didn't want to keep, or maybe I got no spells in hand and just creatures, right? Well, now I've got this set up, I've ramped up to it. Maybe they had all these kill spells that were sitting back trying to protect themselves. Maybe a Skull Shatter, some Pits, some draw spells, right? Cool, play Gregoria. Boom. First off, right, I get the intel of my opponent's hand. While they may get mine, I also get theirs, right? So you're kind of sharing some intel there. But the next thing you're doing is you're attacking their hand by removing out all those draw spells, all those search spells, all those banish spells, right, or bounce spells from their hand. They've now lost that ability. And as we know, control decks tend to run a lot of spells, right? They're trying to draw. They're trying to search. Even the bottle decks, right? You got them trying to sit there and get that off. Okay, they've got their discard with Skull Shatter and other variances of cards, right? And so this allows you to get that out of their hand. This card here becomes the anti-control card because it is going to take and rip apart those decks that are using a lot of spells and are very spell heavy, right? It's going to have its place, and I know some players are going to be like, oh, well, I lose cards myself too. Remember, you got to set this thing up a little bit, right? And you got to be willing to give and take, okay, with it. It has its place. I know my Water Darkness Nature control / anti-control because it was meant to battle Andromeda and take on Andromeda. This fits perfect. Cool. You're holding back all those spells. Now you're actually going to be you're not going to get the use out of them for one, right? Now you're actually going to have to maybe use those Keeper Dawns a lot quicker. And let's be real honest, they have 2, maybe 3 Keeper Dawns, in their deck to recur these spells out. And if they were holding on to a whole bunch of Death Smokes, Terror Pits, Root Traps, sorry, I'm just yelling out a whole bunch of different things here, right? Draw, so let's say Bottle of Wishes, Crystal Memory, Logo Scan, Spy Mission, you just ripped that all apart, right? And let's say you've broken a lot of shields and you've broken some spells, but maybe they're not shield blasts. They're gone, right? So if you've got that early game and you apply Gregoria right when you need to, boom. Now they got nothing really to sit there and stop you other than maybe what's the creatures that they have, maybe some blockers, but if they have blockers by then, not so much, I don't think you'd be doing a type of damage. Particular point, but if they didn't have blockers then, they're in some severe trouble if they were counting on some spells. Maybe they were that 1 mana short of barraging you or Dragon's Breathing you, right, to clear your field. Oh crap, it's gone from my hand. Right? So, definitely some playability, I think, with this card. You're going to have to sit there and think through it, and this is a card myself that I love because a lot of the decks are designed, it's not something that someone can easily, start, pick up, play, and just walk right into a tournament with it. They've got to play it for a couple of days, understand the intricacies to it, and then boom, then they can sit there and play it, right? Like I gave my Water Darkness Nature control to David, a.k.a. Keeper of Graves on Kaijudo Central, and that was the one thing he said, was he was still learning how to sit there and play the deck even after 2 days. That it was taking him a while to kind of figure out when to do this, when to take and do that with it. It could handle, but it was learning when to take and do those different things. And I think this is a similar card. We've got to learn when to use it, when not to use it. Much like the card that CBH previewed on Kaijudo.com of the Scourge, right? It's when to play that card because you're going to sit there and Skull Shatter not only your opponent, but your hand. There are bonuses to that creature because now they can't block, right? Now they can't attack you, but you're giving something else in return. Same thing here with Gregoria. You're going to have to sit there and make those decisions. It adds some different techniques and play styles and playabilities. It's what I see coming with Clash, especially with Scourge, now this, with Gregoria the Malevolent. It's going to require some more thought process on when to take and use these cards. It's not just a simplicity, oh, here's this, here's that, right? Now you're starting to see the intricacies further, I think, going forward with the game and different cards are going to come out. It's going to require a lot more thought into when to play this, when to play that. These are playable cards and good cards. It's a matter of when you do it. So, alright. So, I want to thank Andrea and Wizards for allowing Team Squeeky to take and preview this exclusive card to you, for you all from Clash of the Duel Masters. Definitely looking forward to the set. I've seen some great cards out there I'm very happy about. And I think it's going to be a welcomed addition to Kaijudo, and I can't wait to sit there and see future preview cards that they're going to take and release before the set actually comes out. So, last but not least, I want to sit there and, give everybody best wishes who are playing at the KMCs this weekend. I want to wish you guys the best of luck Team Squeeky unfortunately can't be at these KMCs this weekend, but you know, I'm going to sit there and wish everybody the best of luck. I've got friends that are playing out over in them from across the country. You know, I'm going to sit there. Those guys, I know, I've told them, hey, you know, let me know how you're doing. Let me know what's going on out there. So, you know, I continue to sit there and, you know, cheer them on, root them on, you know, and kind of listen to what they've got to say about what's going on out there in the community. And, yeah, you know. So, all right. This is Chris from Team Squeeky here at Kaijudo Central with our exclusive preview card, Gregoria the Malevolent. And I know I didn't go over it, but just to let you know too, it is a number 33 of the set. So, alright guys, later.